Thank you. We haven't talked about it at length, but, Trump proposed our incoming president proposed the change of the naming of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And some people are worked up about that. Other people just don't care. Other people think it's a great idea. But you know what? What is crazy about that? Because we have bodies of water that different countries call different things. Like the Persian Gulf. In a lot of Middle Eastern countries, it's known as the Arabian Gulf. They have a different name for it. So is it so crazy to rename something or to change the convention in your own country of what something is called? Help me think this one through.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. It seems unnecessary, but you're right. I mean, yeah, we could call it the Gulf of America here, and everyone else could keep calling it the Gulf of Mexico like they have for centuries. I don't know.
Like, what's the river that is between Texas and Mexico?
The Rio Grande?
That's what I've always called it. But I believe Mexicans call it the Rio Bravo. So we already have an example of America and Mexico disagreeing on a name. Or a disagreement is too strong of a word. It's just they use a different name than we do. There's no big fight over it.
I guess I don't really care.
Yeah.
We can call it whatever we want. It's not a topic that I think about.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like a huge waste of our mental energy and potentially resources. Don't we have a lot of other issues in this country to worry about instead of renaming something which is just going to cause a little bit of a headache for everybody that we've already got enough headaches in our day-to-day life, and especially this country?
Yeah, I would think if you change the name, you just do it kind of gradually. You don't have to take all the current maps and globes out of existence. You just change them as you print up new stuff, and they have to print up new stuff all the time because things do change their names. Places are discovered and all that.
Have you seen the map? Which country actually has more of the coastline of that body of water?
Yeah, which is it?
It's really close.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to look.
But it was within, let's say, 10%?
Let me look.
Okay. You remember we fought over the name of Mount McKinley for a while?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think, was it President Obama at the time? He changed it back to Denali, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we had changed it previously to McKinley. And then,
okay, here's how close it is. Mexico has 1,743 miles of coastline on the Gulf of Mexico.
Gotcha.
And the U.S. has 1,700, so they've got 43 more miles than we do.
Maybe that should be the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Hey, they got more miles,
right?
So they get naming rights, or we trade it off. They get it for 10 years, we get it for 10 years. The naming rights. Maybe we should sell off the naming rights. I saw that somebody circulated a petition to get it renamed to the Gulf of Buc-ee's. Since it's
yeah, why not?
Which is kind of funny. I went in a deep dive reading about all the places that are disputed names, or at least it has multiple names for the same thing. Several places around Japan, all that. Is the Indian Ocean, is that ever debated? What's that? What that is called?
I don't know.
Got me.
But things like McKinley and Denali, that is going back to the Native American name that it was before.
Mm-hmm.
But this would not be going back to what we called that body of water before.
Right.
Mexico was here before we were. It was named that before we were here. So
then again, wasn't America called something else before we called it America?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And we're still going with North America and Central America and South America.
So should we rename it the United States of whatever it was called back then?
of Mexico?
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's an interesting topic anyway. Okay, this is why you should always be honest about what's in your orifices. Is that the plural? Is it orifices or orify or ori
Let's go with orify.
or mice? Which is it? So this woman, this has been making the rounds again. This is a story that was reported, I think it was in some medical journal last year, but it's come to light once again. This woman goes in for an MRI. You know how they always ask you before you go in. What's the question they ask you? You got any metal anywhere on your body?
That wasn't the
Anything you
question.
want to tell us about? Because an MRI machine,
They don't handle
it's
that well.
oh so very serious if you are not honest about that. So she goes in, and lo and behold, she wasn't honest about it. They pull her out of the MRI after it was done. She's screaming in pain, and turns out she had left, and this is, once again,
Very sensitive.
it's very sensitive. She had left a plug that is of a buttocks nature
Oh my.
inside her
Okay. Yeah, we got it.
Why
her
wouldn't she?
sewage port.
Ugh.
Well, I got to be medical
Why wouldn't she tell them?
because you know what? It's none of their business
She
what
thought she-
women are empowered to wear on their body.
She thought, no, I'll get away with this. It won't detect it, and it'll prevent me the embarrassment.
Well, seriously, why are we letting these big machines police women's bodies? They ought to be able to
Because
wear
they went
whatever
there
they
for
want to.
help.
They don't
And what's
need
wrong
your
with me?
help, okay? You don't have to be white knighting all the time medically when someone has a problem.
You're right. You're right.
Did she act surprised when they told her that was the cause of her pain?
No, I don't think so. I think she was in too much pain to act surprised. So then there's people been trying to investigate, find out what the full story is on this, because the medical people, they reported it to, it says here, the FDA. I'm not sure why they reported it to the FDA as the governing body, but they did. Maybe that's right. And so they tried to follow up with the woman multiple times, and she would not return their calls or answer it. She had to be hospitalized for this, as you can imagine. Because can you imagine the damage it did inside there? But as they were investigating the story, one report is that she felt like it was she thought it was a silicone product, non-metallic, non-ferrous product, but she didn't realize that it had a metallic core to it. She was fooled by the silicone exterior.
Plus, she rarely sees it. It's usually
Well,
in a
yes.
position where she can't
Yes.
really examine it.
And if she wears it frequently, then you can see how maybe she had forgotten that she was wearing it.
You live
Maybe.
such a different life than me. I mean, you live for looking for these stories. And I just never see them until I hear about them on this show.
First of all, you can
during
stop
one of
yelling
your
at
segments.
me because I was looking up MRI stories. I thought it'd be good to do an MRI story this
Yeah,
morning, and this just happened to be the one. Okay, let's not get distracted by some of the details in the story. Let's focus on magnetic
You look up wheels off
resonance
MRI
imaging
stories.
or whatever it is. It's not. Do you think this is a wheels off story? Okay, if you had, let's say your grandfather Giorgio, if you had told him, "Hey, did you hear about the woman
Would not
who
compute.
got injured?
No, would not
Getting an
would not
MRI,
compute. He would just walk away and think you were
MRI and B
speaking-
plug would have thrown him."
He would look at you like you're an alien, and he would walk
The
away.
anus.
So you're saying our great great grandfathers didn't have
Had it
time
right.
for B
Yes,
plugs
they had it right.
while they were walking behind an ox.
That's right.
Plowing a field. Okay, all right. That's only fair. And then, Craig, I wanted your quick response on this. I see where the state of Montana, You ever been there?
Yes.
The pretty part or the ugly part?
Both.
Yeah.
There's an ugly part to Montana?
Yeah.
Yeah. The eastern part of Montana is,
Pretty beaten down.
yeah, it's pretty wide open and windswept, but the mountainous part, gorgeous.
No disrespect.
Well, Montana legislators, they introduced a bill that will force cyclists to ride the wrong way in traffic
Ooh.
unless they're riding with a flag vehicle escort, which
That is terrible.
not a lot of cyclists hire flag vehicle escorts.
That seems like a bad idea.
Terrible idea.
Bad decision, though, Coach.
Why are
not
I don't
either.
understand how this could get so far in their legislature. Didn't one cyclist at least say to them, hey, you know what? This is actually a bad idea. It makes sense if you're a pedestrian,
Yeah.
you walk against the flow of traffic,
Yep.
but not a bicycle.
No, that is a huge no-no. Bikes are usually going a little too quickly, so you're speeding up the chances of tragedy happening.
Uh-huh.
Where a pedestrian's going very slowly, they see a car coming towards them, pop out of the way or something. A lot easier for a pedestrian to pop out of the way too. That is a terrible idea.
I know.
Nobody thinks that's a good idea, so how did a state approve that?
That's what I don't get. I don't understand that. I do notice that Dallas is doing, it seems like they're doing a lot better with addressing bicycle stuff. I'm seeing more and more bike lanes in our old neighborhood. I went down a street that had a separated off bike lane, not just a painted one,
Yeah.
but one that actually had a curb that separated the roadway to the bike lane / pedestrian. But then again, I think it may have been just bike lane because there was also a sidewalk on the other side of that.
Is
for
that the
pedestrians to
one
walk
down in Lakewood?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a very controversial one.
I bet it
in the
is.
hood.
It seems like every one of these solutions is controversial and has an upside and downside.
Well, the dedicated bike lanes, for example, that run through Victory Park where we are, those aren't controversial. They get a lot of use, and they're straight, and they're not really that confusing. But the one through Lakewood, I never see a bike on there. No cyclist that I know wants to go through that intersection anyway. And it's very confusing for the motorists. That was but yeah, you're right. They're doing a lot better. 15 years ago, Dallas was by far the worst city in America for cycling, by far. And now it's improved to the point where it might even be middle of the pack with all the new bike lanes and trails, especially the trail system.
It seems like a bad idea to mix pedestrians and cyclists, like routing them in the same little lane too. And I notice that happens sometimes. It's a cyclist / walking and jogging trail. How do you manage that?
That's tough. That will cause an accident or two. And, they merge a lot around White Rock Lake, that trail that goes all the way around.
Yeah.
Half of it is probably pedestrian and or bike.
It seems like I notice more cyclists riding on the road around White Rock Lake than using the pedestrian cyclist inner ring area.
Yeah. There are just a couple of stretches where you have to get on the trail with the pedestrians because there's not a road that's
I can't believe
nonstop.
you've never plowed into anyone.
No.
Because I've actually seen it happen on the Katy Trail where a cyclist is coming along and then a jogger will turn direction right in front of him. Joggers got AirPods in or something on their morning jog and then moves over right in front of the cyclist and gets run over.
Now, I've slammed on my brake probably 300 times, to avoid something like that, but I've never hit anybody. Nobody's ever hit me. Fingers crossed.
And then have you ever ridden with a B plug?
I have to think about that, but quick answer, no. But let me think about that.
Just as a protection
Just
device.
as we'd all forgotten about it. We'd all moved on.
No, we hadn't.
Yeah, we had, too.
So good luck at your MRI today if you're a P1 that's going in for one.
All right, Gordo, thank you. That's the O-Day.
Sadly, the death toll has risen, right? That's a word.
It's risen.
Risen.
Has riz to 24 now. in Los Angeles, and I think the number of missing is still at 16. And the National Weather Service, this is more bad news, they've issued red flag warnings for severe fire conditions through Wednesday. Sustained winds of 50 miles an hour and gusts reaching 70 miles per hour. Most dangerous day they're predicting is tomorrow.
Gosh.
Tomorrow is going to be the worst day for the Santa Ana winds to come back. And, of course, they fear spotting, which in this case means embers that blow many miles away and start new fires. They say it could travel as much as 2 miles. An ember can float 2 miles and start another fire. And the square miles that have burned so far, larger than the city of San Francisco.
Wow.
Yeah.
12,000 buildings.
12,000, buildings so far have been destroyed. And you see the overhead shots, and it looks like Hiroshima. You know, it looks like a nuclear bomb went off and just leveled homes in every direction for miles.
So terrible.
Do you have a containment figure, like how much of the fire's contained?
Yeah, and it's shocking to hear these numbers, but the Pacific Palisades fire, that's 13% contained.
Wow. I know over the weekend it was 0%, so I figured it was still low.
The Eaton fire, 27% contained. It is weird how can they get so specific on containment?
Yeah.
Like, I always thought that was more of a ballpark figure, but I guess they do it with overhead shots and can actually measure the perimeter to get the accurate percentage of containment. Those two fires, the Palisades and the Eaton fire, account for 59 square miles burned. And a lot of crews coming in from other states, 9 other states, contributing to the firefighting effort there. 1,400 fire engines, 84 aircraft, 1,400 personnel.
Including from here.
Yeah, including from here. Also from Mexico. Texas is one of the states, but Mexico as a country has committed some firefighters to this cause. Yeah, from here, let me get to that story real quick. Dallas, Allen, Frisco, and McKinney deploying some personnel and equipment to face the fires in Southern California. Dallas Fire and Rescue sending 6 members and a Type 3 fire engine to the area. And that team includes 4 wildland firefighters, which are trained to battle fires in hazardous environments, and then 2 members of the Emergency Medical Task Force. So you also have Parker County, Greenville, in addition to Allen, Frisco, and McKinney, sending people out there to fight it. So what caused this? There's one report that says that it may have been some New Year's revelers who started a fire on New Year's Eve up there by the Palisades, and the firefighters went out there and put that blaze out, that brush fire out that had started as a result of fireworks usage. But as they go back and look at imagery and where they believe the fire started again this year, it was in the exact same location, so it may have been people with leftover fireworks going back out there and starting another fire, and this time it got out of hand because the firefighters didn't respond as quickly as they did that first time. That's just one possible report of this. There's also been other reports of, and I don't know how much of this is conspiracy theory, whether there's any evidence that backs this up, but it certainly is a possibility for the future. An arsonist, if you have an area that is so high profile as L.A., that is always under such fire danger as L.A. often is, and you're a terrorist, you don't have to hijack a plane to cause massive damage. Look at what happened out there, and it happens so easily. You ignite something that can jump when you know the winds are this bad, and then look at all the destruction you cause.
Yeah.
$150 billion is the latest estimate. There are also prisoners that are fighting the fires. It's kind of controversial, as you can imagine, but 950 prison firefighters have been busy removing timber and brush ahead of the fires to try to slow their spread. And, of course, this is controversial because it's like you're using prisoners in a very dangerous situation and paying them $10 a day to do it, plus room and board, of course, obviously.
But I bet they're happy to get out of prison, even just for a day to go out into the woods and clear brush. I bet they love that.
You're saying that prisoners like being used as this sort of
maybe it's a
indentured
way
servitude
for them to
labor.
feel like they're doing some good, though. So, yeah.
And I would, if there was any duty for me to perform outside of prison, I'd volunteer every day to get out of there.
So this is so sorry, but people are looting the homes of people that had to evacuate.
Yeah.
So let's think about how we can argue this. Am I supposed to feel sorry for these middle income to high income people having their homes looted by people who are obviously in need of resources? Should I be upset about that?
I think you should direct your anger at the people who are looting.
Who are
going
looting?
house to house with.
How about the guy who dressed up as a firefighter?
Wow.
And there's possibly more guys that do this, but there's definitely one guy who was arrested doing this, dressed up as a firefighter to get into the scenes so he could then steal from people who are in crisis.
Terrible.
So sorry. And then you have other people posting signs now that we will shoot looters. So imagine gunfire breaking out in the midst of all this apocalyptic imagery that's already going on.
Yeah.
And then you have people shooting at other people. So it's all real uplifting.
We have a friend, George and I know somebody who his home burned down, and the first thing they told him to do was put a fence up around it because looters would come in.
Yeah.
I think he even had to hire a security guard.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, he's not using that stuff right now. So if other people can find it useful.
But it's his stuff.
I know. There was a video that went around in Santa Monica. You can see the sky completely filled with ash and smoke and fires in the distance, and then you see a parking enforcement officer writing tickets to people and putting them on cars.
No.
Really?
While all this crisis is going on, they're still enforcing the...
Well, you still can't park here.
Maybe we should enforce laws, just like you guys were saying about the looting. We should enforce laws right now. Okay. It's important to do that. So, yeah, and several other people showed in a couple other areas where they were also being written tickets for being parked too long at a place.
Well, that city's going to need a lot of money to redo their infrastructure.
Yeah, they got to raise it somehow. Maybe it's from parking tickets. How are they going to rebuild all that area?
I don't know.
And would you ever think twice, or are you thinking, hey, we were living in paradise before because of Southern California, it was great, so I want to rebuild exactly where we were?
I don't know how that breaks down with percentages. I did hear a report that said that most say they're going to rebuild.
Yeah.
I also saw, though, that could take years and years and years because there are only so many construction crews.
Mm-hmm.
You've got, 12,000 homes, and it's going to be a lot more than that.
Yeah.
That they can't just all rebuild in a year. They're going to have to get in line. Normally, when a wildfire sweeps through, it's a small town, so they can rebuild pretty quickly. But you're talking about the most densely populated county in America, and so many of those people needing to rebuild. Plus, a lot of them won't be able to because they didn't have insurance. Such a mess.
Let's say that your home didn't burn down. Let's say you're in a neighborhood that didn't get hit and devastated. Aren't you worried about your lungs right now? I can't imagine with the air quality, which is already bad out there.
Right.
What the heck is that like right now with all of that toxic stuff burning?
Yeah, it's got to be bad.
And outside of the most important, which is the human toll that is taking place, you ever wonder, like, if Were there any famous artworks that burned, or famous guitars that burned, or
Probably.
famous movie props and all the collectible stuff that people get into?
If Billy Crystal's home burned down, I'm sure he had stuff from his movies.
All right. Stowaways. Why do they always think that they can get into the wheel well of a plane and it's going to work out for them? There were a couple bodies that were found dead of death in the wheel well of a JetBlue plane. They went from New York to Fort Lauderdale. And it's raising concerns over airline security because it's like, how are people getting in these? Yeah. This was discovered, I think it was a week from today ago. Something needs to be workshopped.
A week ago today?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
A gate technician in the landing gear noticed that there were two guys who appeared to be Signal 7. Oh, that's law enforcement code for a deceased person. So,
Okay.
yeah, they were Signal 7. I've never heard that term before this.
No,
neither.
It's pretty cool.
But I'm going to start using it because it makes me sound real official. And both the bodies were badly decomposed. That's a weird note. Like, how long can a body stay in a wheel well?
I guess a while.
Kind of odd. Now, that plane had gone from JFK in New York, and I think it went down to, I had the whole flight path before to try to figure out where the bodies were picked up by the wheel well, but now I can't find it. Oh, here we go. So it was in Jamaica at one point before. So maybe that was the case. They picked up, maybe Jamaican security isn't as good at the airport, and so someone could sneak into a wheel well there.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was from JFK.
Did you see the story when we were on Christmas vacation about the woman who made it all the way onto a plane without any ticket or anything?
No.
Yeah, I can't remember the airport, but she made it through security and then went to the gate and got through the gate, boarded the plane, sat down until they figured out she wasn't supposed to be there. She didn't have any ticket.
Was she hot?
Or anything. I don't know.
Maybe she had hot privilege.
But I just don't understand how that happens.
No.
If I go to security with a tube of toothpaste that's 4 ounces and not 3 ounces, they bust me. But she gets all the way onto a plane.
No ticket.
Without a ticket. No boarding pass.
That's why I think she was hot.
In that story,
just
wasn't
back away and say whatever you want.
I believe she boarded that plane like in somewhere in Europe, and they discovered her here.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Still, she had to get through security there.
Oh, yeah. It says a woman boarded a Delta plane. Oh, this is Thanksgiving week. Was it that long ago? Or this was
Maybe.
during
I
Christmas?
thought it was over Christmas, but it could have been that long ago.
It made it from Kennedy to Paris before she was eventually arrested.
So she boarded here.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. How does she get through our security?
Tristan McComber. McComber. He is a sheriff's deputy in Florida, crashed his car in November of this past year. His body-worn camera shows the airbag deploying after he crashed into the back of another car. He tosses his cell phone onto the seat, but then he picks it up and tries to tuck it away before he goes and talks to the other driver, says, "Hey, ma'am, you okay? I'm so sorry." He files a report saying that his brakes locked up before he rear-ended the other car, which had stopped for a school bus, but the investigation showed that he was lying about what caused the accident. You want to guess what he was doing?
Let's see. You're doing the story, so he must have been watching porn before. I'm going to predict some sort of sperm or breast milk on this story.
Whoa! Hey, you don't have to get that specific, okay? Yes, he was watching adult material on his telephone system at the time of the accident.
Of course.
That's pretty full throttle.
Yeah.
When you're out policing and watching porn at the same time, probably had some of Cat's music cranked way up in his car at the time and vaping and Had an inflatable bee plug going and everything. Just as much sensation as he can get going at any one time.
So easy for him to add details to this. All the other crazy stories he plows through.
Okay, birthdays today. Trevor Rabin is 71, guitarist for Yes.
Yes.
What was Yes's big hit?
Owner of a broken heart?
Owner of the Lonely Heart.
Owner of a lonely heart?
Owner of the Lonely Heart.
Dun, dun, dun,
I think owner of the Lonely Hearts Club Band. Julia, once again, every time that song comes up, I have to comment on the great snare sound.
Great snare sound.
Julia Louis Dreyfus is 64.
Greatness.
I think she was she one of the ones that lost her home?
She did.
Oh, did she?
Mm-hmm.
Trace Atkins, inventor of the diet and a country singer. He's 63.
He'll bottom out on you.
Will he?
Yeah.
Will you please
real
lead
big
the
voice.
charge, Giorgio, of changing that in country music? Patrick Dempsey, 59, from Grey's Anatomy. Shonda Rhimes, 54. Michael Pena, the actor, 49. He was in studio with us.
That's right.
With Dax for Chips. They both star of the movie Chips. Orlando Bloom, 48. Lord of the Rings, Pirate of the Caribbean films. Liam Hemsworth, 35. Marco Mira, 68.
Marco Mira.
Masters and PGA?
British.
When
From
he
my
beat
memory,
Brian
it's
Watts.
British. And I think it was the 98 Masters in British.
Yeah, he won them both in 1 year.
Yeah.
It's a great Pat Summerall name.
Marco Mira.
Marco Mira.
Kevin Mitchell, 63.
The baseball player?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wasn't he NL MVP like in around
Taters.
89, somewhere in there? And Connor McDavid is 28.
Former Cowboy great.
Well, he's an Edmonton Oilers center.
Oh, Connor McDavid. Who am I thinking of?
Connor McGovern?
Conor McGregor?
Conor McGregor. He was a Cowboy great.
Conor McGregor, fighter. Conor McGovern, cowboy.
And Connor McDavid
hockey
is, yeah.
great.
Yeah, you're up to date.
Okay, thanks. That's Muse. But over the weekend, NFL wildcard action, AFC and NFC. We talked about the game yesterday in Philadelphia. The Eagles beat the Packers. And so we thought this would be a good morning to eavesdrop on Philadelphia All Sports Radio. Let's listen to the Touchdown Brothers and see what they're saying about their team advancing in the playoffs.
All right, guys, hook 'em.
All right,
we'll see you
thank you
later,
there,
Brian.
Brian. That's Brian Jones.
Oh, yeah.
He's a
Hook
college
'em.
football expert who comes on here and tells us about the college players that the Eagles ought to think about drafting.
Are you kidding me, though? I mean, it's getting better. At least we don't have somebody on from Dallas this morning. But, Anthony, can we go 1 week around here and not have somebody from Texas who says, hook 'em at the end?
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
They got hooked on Friday, okay?
That's Tony Ragu. I'm Jimmy Amenjola with the Touchdown Brothers.
Touchdown
and before we
Brothers!
go on, speaking of people from Dallas, I guess we got to thank last hour's guest, Jacob Dedamore, came on to talk about his new book about the Eagles called Christmas in Indiana, Retrospective. But I got to say, I'm not sure how it related to the Eagles. I don't know.
I got
anyway,
another person from Dallas
I know
on here.
it took up 45 minutes the last hour. We only got one
about,
question.
Christmas.
Also, thank you to Skip Bayless, who normally doesn't do interviews, but our producer Anthony booked the hell out of Skip Bayless. So props to Anthony for that.
He's in the news
That
these
was
days.
great. That was
Yeah.
great. I mean, he came on our show like we were hairdressers. I mean, that was an amazing get. Although he's kind of a Cowboys homer.
Yeah.
All right, we're talking about the Eagles thumping a
Victory Monday.
They thumped the Green Bay Fudge Packers. I mean, that game wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't. It doesn't.
Sirianni dolled up a massacre.
Oh yeah, it was
great.
beautiful. It was beautiful. Never a contest. And doesn't it just underscore the difference? Underscore the difference between Dallas and Philadelphia.
Totally.
Remember the Packers went into Dallas last year,
yeah.
beat them by like 50, and then Jordan Love threw like 8 touchdown passes. he couldn't even throw any touchdown
it was
passes.
So great.
Terrible.
Nick and I were at the game, and you were into full body paint, which is fine, but
that's what I do.
I
every
gotta
home
say,
game.
man, you gotta quit drinking like you were in high school.
What do you mean?
Dude, oh my God, I was pissed.
Why were you pissed?
Because you
That's
were
what we do. We go drink a couple of beers.
You were drunker than your ex-wife, okay?
I was not.
Yes, you were.
We drink a couple of beers, we go to the
you're
game.
You're screaming so loud, you got us kicked out of the press box. I mean, how many drinks you think you had yesterday, huh?
5
cases?
Probably.
Dude, it's too much. You gotta cut back. I swear.
It's a couple of beers.
You're pissing me off, man.
Who are you?
You're
are
pissing
you like
me off.
a principal or something? What are you doing?
No, we're at the game. We gotta cover the game. We do a talk show, okay?
Yeah, but
you need to watch the game. You're not there just to yell at people and insult people and drink.
I'm from Philly.
Right?
That's what we do.
Jeez, I swear to God, man, ever since we reduced the hours of this show from 8 hours a day to 7.5 hours, you've been drinking way too much. You're coasting. You're totally coasting. You are.
Here.
You are.
I may have thrown up about 3 times this morning, but who cares? I'm here.
Dude, I'm looking at the TV. What happened to Brooke Shields?
I don't know.
She's got Andy Rooney eyebrows or something.
What's going on with that?
I don't know. And she's like making the rounds because she got a new vagina or something. I don't know what's happening out there. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. All right. We need to go to the phones here.
All right, let's go to the phones.
Let's go to the Eagle Faithful and see what they have to say here. Let's start off on. We got a bank of 78 calls, but I'm going to pick out one just randomly.
See, who's it going to land on?
Let's go to Sal in South Philly. You're on with the Touchdown Brothers.
Hey, how are you two guys doing?
Pretty good there, Sal. Not bad, Sal. A little hungover, Sal, but doing okay.
Hey, I came out to yours remotes at the cheesesteaks places last week.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funnies how you two guys pretended not to nose me's. Ha ha ha, that was funnies.
Oh, well there's a lot of people out there, so we may have overlooked you.
Yeah.
I know, you guys really loves me's, but that's just how friends kids each other's, right?
That's right, just busting.
I mean, we're just busting your boo walls.
Yeah,
I love it when you bust my boo walls.
yeah, that's what we do. We're
that's what we do.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
This is the best Eagles team I have ever seen.
It might be. It might be.
It's great.
Destroys either Minnesota's or the Rams's.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, who cares who wins tonight?
Bring it all on.
It doesn't matter.
Tell me this, guys. How is Sirianni's not in the halls of fames yet?
Dude, exact question
that's a really good question. I know they don't do that with active coaches, but he should be in.
And I know as you guys probably wants to hear ones of my football jokes.
Oh.
So jokes for you twos right now. Is okay?
Okay, all right.
Hey, everybody. Did you see the Eagles wins on the TVs yesterday? Even the Cowgirls had to watch the Eagles from their stupid sofas in their stupid cowgirl houses.
Why does it get so high-pitched?
That's it.
Okay.
Workshop it a little bit. Maybe, maybe a punchline mixed in there would be good. Something.
I get it. You're busting my boo walls again.
Yeah. Just busting up a little bit.
That's all.
Hey, one quick question.
All right, that was weird.
Do the Cowgirls suck or what?
Love it! Coming up next, Justin Montemayor comes on to share his amazing personal journey. Apparently, he's going through quite an ordeal right now as he's desperately fighting to get Sean Bass to listen to his ideas. That's next on the Touchdown Brothers.
Oh, my gosh. What a mess that show is.
I hate that show.
Thank you, Tip Sheet, and thank you, Phil Rizzuto. The L.A. County Coroner's Office said Sunday night that it's investigating at least 24 deaths related to the wildfires in L.A. 8 suspected were linked to the Palisades Fire, 16 attributed to the Eaton Fire. And, of course, they're still burning today, but most L.A. Unified School District schools and offices will reopen Monday, they say. Although the red flag warning has been extended through Wednesday due to a combination of strong winds and low humidity, only looking at about 27% of the Eaton Fire being contained, the Palisades Fire only at 13%. And the state of Texas also sending along more than 135 firefighters and 45 engines, ambulances, and command vehicles out to Southern California to help out, do our part, do the Texan part. But yeah, it's been a wild. We're almost a little over a week. These fires have been burning now, and the numbers aren't looking great as far as 27 and 13% contained in the biggest ones.
Yeah, and I heard the Musers talking about this morning. They estimate about $150 billion in damage has been done already.
I didn't even think about the fact that, okay, yeah, you're going to rebuild and how you're going to have to watch out for people scamming.
Yeah.
Just like when you have a hailstorm and people try to scam you with the roofs on top of your house. Now just think if you have to totally rebuild, about how long that's going to take, because everyone is going to be in that same boat.
And this has also shined a light on something I guess I knew existed, but didn't know how wide scale it would be. The private fire protection companies that are being contracted out in some of these areas, and some people out there are paying as much as $2,000 an hour for private firefighters to come out and help fight fires around their neighborhood.
Wow.
I didn't even know. I'm with you.
I had no idea that was
existed.
a thing.
It's like mercenary firefighter help.
Yeah, so
bizarre.
People,
the whole
like
thing
a-
is nuts, man.
Ex-firefighters or something?
I
Like
guess.
seems like a great deal if you are an ex-firefighter to go privatize. You have to be getting paid immensely more, right?
I would think. I mean, $2,000 an hour.
Well, I don't know how many are on that crew, but I assume that's pretty
a chunk.
good.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a one-man crew out there. You just hire.
And then did you hear where
He's just trying to keep it all to himself, so he cut the crew out.
I know, and it's
Yeah,
just
he's
him, and he's just out there
the giant hose?
looking like he's watering the yard. Like, am I paying $2,000 an hour for this?
Is that a green hose in your hand? This is ridiculous. I think he's getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, I saw where some of these that are burned down, that people are constructing fences like around their property quickly because looters are coming through and just trying to grab whatever they can find through all these homes that have been burnt. Just freaky. I saw another video that everybody has a Ring now. Saw one story where this couple watched their home burn down on the Ring camera until it melted and, of course, malfunctioned.
Right.
Because they had evacuated and they're just on the Ring app watching their house burn.
I don't think I could do that.
There's no way
I
can.
would want to know that it's happening, and then I just couldn't watch it approach my home and burn. But I would want to have the alert that there's a motion outside and the fire is upon my doorstep.
What can you do?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's the next however long it takes them to rebuild is going to be wild.
I know.
It'll be years, man. This is such a populated area.
Y'all will get a really
in.
good look at this during spring. During
the
spring
PCH
training camp. Yeah,
training camp.
That we used to, when we went up there every single year, we go to PCH and Norm would tell us, "Yeah, that's the house I stayed in for a while." And it's crazy to think Norm stayed on the beach on the way to Oxnard, and that drive will probably be as creepy as it gets to see that.
It'll be interesting. We have another incident at an NFL game going viral as a man decked out in Philly gear berated a female Packers fan on Sunday, and we watched this video in our meeting today, clapping in her face, calling her the C word, and it was a pretty ugly scene as of course the Packers are not having a great time in general at the Philly game yesterday, and then if you're a fan in Philly wearing your Packers gear, you have to expect you're probably going to hear something from somebody at some point. But this is clearly very far over the line. Turns out, Packers fan, she's a content creator on the internet, and they've taken to the internet to try and get this guy's identity doxed, essentially.
Oh, they'll definitely identify that dude. He was... But,
he might come out and raise his hand on it.
Maybe, like he just, I did it, and I said it, who cares? Like, it's always, hey, man, I wouldn't go and watch a game in Philly. Like, they're proud of the fact that they will bully someone going to their stadium, just trying to root for their squad.
Yeah.
When they would go to a away stadium and do the exact same thing. So what if they're getting roughed up and talked about that? You think they're going to take that also? I'm telling you, man, that video was firing me up. And I am
me
calm,
too.
docile dude that
you're ready to
do
crawl into the
anything.
video and beat the crap out of that
But
guy.
if that dude was talking about my wife like that, I know I'm going to get my ass kicked. he's going to get a little bit of that also.
There's some ass kickings that you know are coming,
right?
But you have to take them.
I would have lost my mind.
I think my wife would be a little upset at me if I let some dude talk to her like that.
Because you know it didn't start with when the video popped out.
Right.
Like, it's been going for an hour and a half.
Yeah, but... Yeah, they probably... You know what? They probably dumped on them right from the very beginning because the opening kickoff, you have a fumble, and Philadelphia scores right there. So I know they were giving them the business.
But that's par for the course. You should expect that if you're going to a game in Philly. But what was going on?
Not expecting that language.
No.
Yeah, you're not talking to my lady like that.
No.
I'm sorry.
And like standing over her, pointing in her face, like that's where we're gonna have to have some. Yeah, we're gonna have to have a conversation.
Bending down, like right in her face.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, I think my wife would have slapped the snot out of him.
I would.
And then we're gonna have to go.
Then it's popping off.
It's
no matter
on
what.
in.
You don't even get the strategy of trying to go around the back and meet him on his level. You just have to.
Man, that would be.
Go at it.
They might beat the crap out of me, but I would gnaw that dude's throat out.
That guy's gonna hit the ground no matter what.
Thank you. And then I'll be satisfied.
Get me,
I'll be satisfied with my ass kicking, and I'm going to get.
He might even get up.
He's going to get one.
He might even get up and whip my ass. But he is going to. His face is touching concrete.
I'd have punched him in the throat and probably broke his larynx. And then his buddies would have wailed on me.
Well, yeah. Oh, they would have laughed as he's kind of...
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong, Earl?
He's trying to choke. He's trying to choke Matt back, but he can't get the tiny esophagus. I can't find it. Where is it?
The fiance, the guy.
Him in his shoulder. I'm trying to hit his esophagus. It's so tiny.
Where is it?
Well, I can't find it.
Where's the X-ray machine?
Oh, yeah.
He's just like making these noises. But the fiance did. He tried because he said to the Eagles fan, he goes, "Hey, don't call her the dumb C." And then the Eagles fan, "What are you going to do?"
And he called her that again.
He goes, "Well, she is one."
That's when. Yeah, that's when we're going to have.
Yeah, we got to start.
I'm not done. I'm mad.
We got to get busy after that.
I would have lost my mind.
I think I would have,
and I probably would have gotten the crap. I mean,
not
you got
probably,
4 guys
going to
on
happen.
one, like you.
And it's always that mindset of say what you want about me. I can take it. I'm fine. But you're not going to bend down in my wife's face and just talk about her like that. We can't have that.
No, that's we got.
And I'm not the one to just I'm Billy Badass or anything like that. That's not me.
No, I'm very aware that in almost any confrontation, I'm going to lose.
Oh, gosh, I'm going to get my ass kicked, but I have to do something. Like she has the raw steak at home right over your busted eye and lip, but she's saying thank you.
Yeah.
Because
you're going to get protected. You're going to get payback later. Like you're going to get what you deserve.
Yeah, once you get out of the hospital and your bones heal. And you stop drinking through a straw.
You have no ribs left. Yeah.
Once the drool stops falling out of your mouth.
Get your new teeth.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm in that situation where
She's
you
gonna
just
treat
hope
you so good, dude.
She's going to love on you forever.
It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt bad.
Like try to drive your head into his face and then hope that if they're going to get you, you get knocked out on the first punch.
See, I like Donovan's idea of just double fist, grab the shirt, and rip them down to your level.
Yeah, that was my that was the thought process at Madison Square Garden when we had the bad radio hockey trip where
because that's going to end the fight with that guy fast,
right?
Yeah, because you can get him down on your level, and then his buddy's got to jump down on you.
You got to get probably 3 or 4 of the quickest punches you've ever had before you get overwhelmed.
Right. You got to use your elbows, your knees.
Because if you get good momentum, you might send him 2 or 3 rows down.
That would be delicious. The only thing about that, though, is you're involving other people that had nothing to do with it.
That sucks for them.
As, 250-pound dude goes barreling 3 or 4 rows.
And they're probably fans of the team that he's a fan of.
So then they all jump on you. But if 10 people are trying to fight you at once, can any of them actually get you?
That's if you kind of ball up in the fetal position, you're going to get kicked around. But I feel like some people will come around and try to save you. I'll try to pull them off or something.
Some fat security guard's just walking as slow as he possibly can.
Man, me and that dude will have at it. Yeah. As quick as that fight would go before I got pummeled.
Yeah.
He's going to get his.
That's right. Yeah. That's the news.
Thank you, Travis. And we need an emergency picks with friends because it is down to the wire. Matt, Donovan, I see Davey, I see Mino, and now all we need is a George.
Yep.
A Bob.
Hey now.
And a Corby.
Hello.
All right. Everyone's gathered. We have a quorum. to decide what the heck is going on. First off, George, what's up with this Mike McCarthy news, man?
What the hell is going on?
Man, what is going on? I thought he was safe.
Monkey butt.
I thought Monkey Butt was safe, and he's not.
Yeah, it's a monkey butt day is what this is.
Yes, it is. Okay, we've got to figure out what's going on because we have a conundrum, and we need the commissioner to make a ruling because he is commissioner. So
this is where you find out about the leadership of your organization.
you really do. You see what direction your organization is going in by its leadership. And
I've so had it with all of you losers.
Well, your term is almost up. I'm looking at our future commissioner right here.
Yeah, the champion of Picks with Friends. We've already crowned the winner.
Thank you.
David Mino will
Thank you very much.
Picks with Friends. He has a 6-3 record this week. Only one game left. Everyone picked Minnesota, so David Mino will be the winner.
13-2 in triple plays this year.
How about that?
That's a new record.
That's how to win a championship.
It is.
I'd like to start by saying I look forward to your commissionership.
Thank you. There's going to be big changes next season.
There need to be tons of big changes.
You can't be as bad as the commissioner we have.
I'll start with Picks with Friends Thursdays at 2:30.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Wow, what a power play off the bat.
No, we're not doing that. What else are we going to do at 12:30 on Thursdays? But we need to settle this because there will be a tie for last place. And whether it's 2 or 3, it will be determined tonight because everyone has Minnesota. Bob triple played Minnesota. If they lose and do not cover, Bob, George, Matt will be tied for last place.
That's amazing.
If Minnesota wins, Matt and George will be tied for last place.
Look at me.
So now, only thing we call this emergency meeting, Commissioner, because we need to know the status of the punishment. Because we all know about the drive-in in New Orleans. But the fact that you're getting the doppelganger doll that you have to carry around, how long is that going to take?
Yeah, so the company is a company called Budsies, like buddies, but it's Budsies. And it takes a couple of weeks to make the doll. Mm-hmm. And I tried to get in contact with them this morning to see if I could talk to someone in great leadership over there at their company.
Get it expedited.
I was denied that. I'm ready to make the full pitch on how much publicity they're getting ready to get and all that good stuff. So if I can get in touch with them here in the next 24 hours, and I think that I could talk them into like, look, would be really cool for you and us and everything if you could get this moving in the proper direction speedily. But I don't know. If not, then maybe we have to reach out to our homemade doll makers in the P1 audience.
Okay. Just kind of smeared lipstick on it and just kind of disheveled a bit. So now, if that's the case, because we don't want to wait too long.
It's like Clint Eastwood in Escape from Alcatraz.
Yes.
Where we can't get, because I think the whole part of the punishment is having to walk around in New Orleans and carry this thing around with you everywhere you go. That's a huge deal about it.
Yeah, I have a baby Bjorn if you want to borrow it.
Exactly.
Yes.
So with that being the case, if we even wait until next week to pick games, I don't know if that's going to be in enough time to figure out the loser and get the doll face appropriate. Although we did have an idea that came up that let's see if it satisfies everyone here and the commissioner. And we have it tonight because everyone picked Minnesota. Now, if you have everyone who's in threat of losing, either give you a total, or if we have a prop like Matthew Stafford passing yards, and everyone gives you how many people they think, the passing yards, the one furthest away will lose. You can settle it tonight if you wanted to get the totals about tonight's game so we can get it over with. Because our first thought was doing the total of the Mavericks and the Nuggets game on tomorrow. But I think a lot of people have a problem with that.
Why?
Because we've been picking football games all year long.
You want it to be football?
Yeah.
Okay, well, are you guys cool with doing some sort of either prop bet or total score tonight?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm totally
I would
cool
rather do that than the Mavericks game,
100%.
All right, so
I'm in for that.
So what would be the call here? Do you guys want to go with total score? Do you want to do some sort of weird prop Justin Jefferson, Matthew Stafford type thing, or is that
do total final score?
Do total score, but Price is Right rules.
So you can't go over? Is that what you're saying?
Closest without going over.
Okay.
Ooh, really?
Cool.
What if you all go over?
Yeah, then we're screwed. I think that no, you can't do that. What if it's a 6-3 game?
It's got to be closest.
Well, if you all go over, then it's closest. That's fine. But I just think if somebody is 5 points over and somebody's 5 points under, then there should be an incentive for being closest without going over.
Are we doing this blind?
Tie goes to the under then.
I have no problem saying our totals right now.
How do we go by who gets to pick first?
I would propose, and this will hurt me, but I had the worst record this week of the three of us, so I should pick last. And then because Bob had the best record, hypothetically, he should go first, and then George, and then me.
Well, why don't you all three write it down right now and reveal? Well, I guess we can't ensure
it down, and I don't have a pen. Okay, that's dumb. What is wrong with you?
All right.
So, okay, you write the totals down right now of total number of points in tonight's game between the Vikings and the Rams.
Yeah. What is the over-under?
And we're just assuming that everyone's picking Minnesota.
Well, everyone
knows. Picked Minnesota.
It's 47.5.
Oh no, I was writing that down.
You're going to write 47.5?
That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Oh, are you locked in, George, already?
Oh, poop.
Oh, well.
This is horrible.
Well, am I still on?
Yeah.
You're on. Yeah. We got you.
We don't have an eyewitness to prove that Jubb is saying the number he wrote down.
Or he's pooping.
Or you could all text.
He was looking down.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not doing any of that stuff. No.
I'm going to lose.
I couldn't hear the station.
Yeah, why don't you guys text it to me and I can reveal it.
Okay.
Text me your over-under. That way we know everything's on the up and up. Right now, my name's Corby.
Okay, I got to add two numbers together.
Wait a minute.
And a picture of your wiener.
And your number is
We're
what
texting
again?
you the total. Not
Write
the
it
over
on your wiener.
The total.
Total.
What your guess is total number of points in tonight's game.
Okay, so that plus that.
What is that? Yeah,
I love not being a part of this, Davey. I don't even have to worry about it.
It's over.
And it's
I've received Matt McLaren.
I don't care.
And I have received George Dunn.
Oh, you got them all locked in, huh?
I've got them all. All right,
drum roll. Do you guys have unlimited text in your calling plan?
No, it just costs you a dime.
Yeah.
Bob.
Bob Sturm, you pick first. Your number is 45.
Ooh. Sounds like a pretty good number.
45, baby.
Obviously.
George Dunham, you will pick second. Your number is 52.
Whoa!
Mm-hmm.
And Matt McLaren picking third. Undercut Bob by 1 with 44.
Nice.
Wow.
So anything under 44 is me.
Yes, this is how it's going to go. Bob, if Minnesota wins, Bob's clear.
Yeah,
he doesn't even have to worry about it.
Wow, so it's either high scoring or low scoring.
Yep. Facts.
Minnesota's going to win.
Minnesota wins.
High scoring or low scoring.
Bob is in the clear, and it will be between Matt and George as far as the total number goes. And we will have a loser of Picks with Friends tonight in the game between the Vikings and the Rams.
Okay, so it's closer to the total. What about the over-under thing?
Huh?
Man, what if it ends up on 48?
Well, Bob was
George
talking about without going overs,
yeah.
But what if I went over, but I'm like one off?
Well, then you're over.
Yeah, you're over.
But you get 52 and up to infinity.
And I get 51 and under.
Yeah, think if this is like a 180-point game, George. You got it.
Boy, that's a high total, Jubb.
I think that's a ripoff if 51 is the number, but oh no, you went over, so
I kind of agree.
I mean, you pretty much nail it.
Well, take it up with Bob Barker.
So you have 44?
Well, it's not the Price is Right, Bob.
So
Picks with
he
Friends.
has
that's why we said Price is Right rules.
And Jubb has 52.
Right.
So if it's exactly in the middle, the tie would go to Matt.
I think if it is,
but if it's closer to 52, then it should be Jubb, even if he's over.
Okay,
I don't.
that's what I'm saying.
I agree with that.
Yes,
if it's exactly in the middle.
Didn't we say Price is Right rules though?
No,
otherwise
we can't do that because we need a winner.
I actually
and
agree
it's not
with
fair to
George.
Jubb because he picked a ridiculous number.
What are we helping him?
Yes,
No, I think
need help.
he did pick a ridiculous
Minnesota's going to win, so it'll be between me and George, and I think that's fair. If it ends up 50 or 51, he should win, not me.
Okay.
Well, Commissioner, are you fine with that?
I'm fine with it. Yeah, I don't
Closest
understand
to the
Price is
number.
Right rules anyway.
Yeah, you can be persuaded
Closest
to
to the
do
number.
anything. I need you as a principal or anything around me.
Come on. All right. This is great. I'm
Let's
excited.
get some offense going.
God.
Oh,
Sam
man.
Darnold, baby.
So Matt went with 44.
I picked 78.
And I don't want to go on the curve. I went over 78. So now we need a high-scoring game for Jubb if Minnesota wins.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, my gosh. This is exciting. It comes down to this.
Can Bob lose?
Yes, if the Rams win, and then
Easily.
it's, you know.
Well, no, if the
if
the Rams win,
If the Rams win a shootout
and a
then it's between
high-scoring
all four
game,
of
then
us.
Bob loses, yeah.
like I have almost no numbers in this tiebreaker. If we're not doing prices right, then I get like 45, 46, and 47.
And 48.
That's all I get?
You get 48, too.
I get 48?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, 45, 46, 47, 48. Well, look, Vegas knows, right? They're typically right on the nose on these things, and that's at 47.5, so...
Yeah, I have it right now at
47.5,
48. It looks like it's going up just a tad. So we'll see if they think
What
it's
if
a shootout
going
or not.
Okay, but let me say, what if Minnesota wins so Bob can't lose,
Right.
and then it hits on 48, and we're both 4 points away from it?
Then you win because you didn't go over.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that would be the tiebreaker then if we're both 4 away.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I like it.
Okay.
What?
I
All right,
like it.
it's settled tonight.
I like it.
It is
We will
decided.
settle it
Jason-
with football.
So Jason Witten, huh?
Yeah.
Jason Witten, huh? You ready for that,
Okay.
Bob?
Next head coach?
Just put a little penny on that one.
Please.
From high school to the NFL.
That would be the Cowboys franchise, right?
Nobody believed in us, Dave.
That's right.
Just straight
Is
to
that
head
really a
coach.
name being thrown out there? No.
I promise it's going to
Yes.
get thrown out there.
You know what?
I've already seen it.
promise.
But you know what?
He's probably already interviewed.
But the best bet would be he'd be on the staff. I don't think he'd be the head coach. That would be ridiculous.
Or is he the starting tight end next year?
The first ever tight end coach.
Player coach. He's calling the plays in the huddle. Old school. All right, friends, it's settled.
Okay.
Tonight we'll know the loser of Picks with Friends. It's Minnesota and the Rams.
God, have you
Listen
ever,
to Bob.
Boy,
Cheer
you're-
for the
you-
Vikings.
Your family is so
rooted for the
ashamed of
Vikings
you right
like
now.
this?
Have you told your dad about this, Bob?
He's probably going to watch the game in like a month on delay so then he doesn't have to pay for it.
You have to sit in the VHS
so don't
tape?
spoil it for him.
Okay.
But
I won't do that.
But I just, I think it's a good spot for me because either I win and the Vikings win, but I'm okay with that because I won, or the Vikings lose and I'm fine too. You know what? I was
have
dead.
another year of jokes.
I was dead a week ago, guys. It's borrowed time. It's it's all in his hands as I point above.
Well, you had
Just
a
like
wonderful week after that. After those guys won their triple, like you kicked ass.
But in the words of Kobe, job's not finished.
No,
I wish
job's
we knew.
not finished.
All right, friends.
Watch
thank
out
you.
for that mountain.
And just to be clear,
Davey.
just to be clear, Kobe's not the guy upstairs. The guy above.
Oh, he's not?
Kobe.
I thought you worshipped Kobe.
Well, now
That's
he
all
may be
said.
up there. He may be sitting at the.
Hey, he's playing one-on-one with Jesus.
Who's above Kobe? I'm sorry I brought it up, everybody.
All right, friends. Thank you so much. We'll be watching the
party
game
on.
tonight.
Bye, friends.
We'll let you know what's up tomorrow.
Bye,
Lunchtime
George.
with the
Bye, now.
invasion.
Patreon.com/sportsgreek. Once again, the ticket presents Why Today Doesn't Suck.
Oh, God.
Birthday, 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 it's your birthday, it's your birthday, and I know when it is.
And now, here are your hosts, Sean Bass and David Mino.
Sweet Spot, Sean Bass, and David Mino, just like the liner said. And at 2:58, it's Jay King for a day.
Ooh, thank you, Mino.
You're welcome.
GiveMeTheVin.com brings you the Keeper of Peaceness, Corby Davidson.
What?
You're just going to forget?
Oh, yeah, my bad, not Monty.
Like
I'm
he's
still
right
in the
there.
other mode, my
He's
bad.
right there.
It's right there.
This isn't my normal shift.
Let's go ahead. Go ahead, Corby.
You can have it. And Monty.
Monty, what? What?
Just wide open for a pass.
I'm right here.
Sometimes people can't see me, you know?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jay.
Anytime.
It was funny in like 2018 when we were doing those, it was like NBA draft packages we got, and they're all in the control room, and Danny looks at one, he goes, "Who is Justin?" And I go, "Monty?" He's like, "Oh, yes." His first name's Justin.
Invisible Monty.
It's like, who the hell is him? Justin up here? Who the hell is it? I'm like, yeah, he's been here a decade. You see him every day.
Me.
What's going on with the phones?
What's going on with that's exactly what I just thought of.
It was the exact same voice.
Well, we say hello to the hard line. Corby, Bob, Dave.
Bob.
Dave.
Hey now. I like the show Friday. You guys did really well in the cold.
Thank you.
Should do that more often.
Sorry about your iced latte.
Dude, I
got knocked over.
So funny.
Probably the worst thing that'll happen to you in the last couple of years.
No! We're a cold weather afternoon show. We're built for playoffs.
And there's not many remotes where you can just openly bag on it the whole time, and you guys took full advantage. So good job.
Yeah.
But Shaq was there.
Shaq was there.
Shaq was in the cold.
He had an icicle dripping from his dong.
Well, that is he's an interesting DJ.
You didn't want to walk under it.
It's just, he hits spacebar, the songs start playing.
Gets on the mic every once in a while.
Hey,
Texas!
Yeah, hey, Longhorns!
He wasn't,
Buckeyes!
He wasn't fake turntabling?
No, he doesn't even try to pretend.
Mess with that.
What the.
Well, I'll go ahead and say it. You guys were heroes.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Today is Monday, January 13th, the 13th day of 2025. 352 days are left in the year. On this date, 1941, a law went to an effect granting Puerto Ricans U.S. birthright citizenship.
Puerto Rico.
It's a mistake.
Why's that?
Puerto Rico.
Hadn't even started. Puerto Rico.
On this date,
Puerto-
1968, American singer-songwriter Johnny Cash recorded the album Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison in front of an audience of some 2,000 inmates at California's Folsom Prison.
Think they were drinking some toilet wine that day?
Bruno, bruv?
Kind of the coolest idea ever.
Yeah, we need more of that.
Post Malone needs to do this at Supermax.
He's in front of like 5 people.
Yeah.
For a Joe car?
Yeah.
Like an acoustic set?
Sure.
Real stripped down.
No, he does his truck
Good
thing.
acoustics there.
His country thing.
Because we'll put a boot in your ass.
Yeah, we do need to get back into that.
Adam.
Maybe get Jelly Roll in there.
They look the part that
he's in the break room, actually.
Face tattoos, all that crap, they fit right in.
Right. In 1982, an Air Florida 737 crashed into Washington, D.C.'s 14th Street Bridge and fell into a river while trying to take off during a snowstorm, killing 78 people, including 4 motorists on the bridge.
God.
Only 4 passengers and 1 flight attendant survived.
They didn't have Sully.
That's right.
That is that's an underreported story, I believe.
Landed that bird safe.
Like you dunked 80 people in the river, basically, and
what year was that one?
In the early
82.
80s. I don't remember that even happening as a kid.
That was before the one at DFW, the Delta
that was
flight.
85 or 86.
It took someone's head off?
Yep, on 114.
You know, I like to focus on the 5 people that survived.
I'm kind of a glass half full kind of guy, you know?
You always have been.
Yeah.
They're probably all dead
Actually,
now.
it's not even half full, really. It's like an eighth full.
Couple of drops.
Big water, ocean water.
But those people have
big water.
A good story to
They
tell
do.
people, I guess.
Indeed.
Unbreakable.
You think they bring it up pretty quick? Their friends get annoyed by it?
What's like the craziest thing that's happened to you?
Well, let me tell you.
Because I had a threesome one time. Well,
in
Can't beat
1992. No, yeah, you win, Corby.
All right. I mean, even if I went down in the airplane, I can't be so to speak.
In 1992, Japan apologized for forcing tens of thousands of Korean women to serve as sex slaves for its soldiers during World War II, citing newly uncovered documents that showed the Japanese army had a role in abducting the so-called comfort women. So about 50 years later, they're like, you know what? Our bad.
They called their own foul.
Yeah, they put their hand up and was like,
What for
should've done
women?
Comfort.
Oh.
So they, in the fort.
In-
Do they have
yeah. Only in forts.
Special perk?
sex crimes.
But
Sex crimes.
by 1982, they were still like, no, not apologizing. Wait another 10 years.
Double
and we'll
down.
do it.
Love you long time.
In 1999,
Slow
Michael
down.
Jordan announced his second retirement just prior to the start of the lockout-shortened 1998 NBA season. He would return in 2001 with the Wizards.
Wait. I guess I've blocked this out. So he stopped to play baseball, came back, won the 3 championships, and then quit for another 3 years?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron would never do that.
No.
He just keeps playing.
See, Michael
He doesn't know how
Jordan
to
now?
quit.
Are you kidding
He's
me?
Except for
too
books.
relying on daily affirmation that he's still good.
He
7
lets
more
his
years, Monty.
near
All you got to do
triple-double.
is check the box score.
No one has told me I'm good today. I better go play basketball.
He's going to have like 50,000 points.
And
But
then
he's
That
after
sounds
the NBA.
childish. Like you came up with a real
50,000.
childish number, but it's probably kind of close.
Yeah.
But he's leaving the NBA worse off than he found it, according to Kwame Brown.
and then everybody will admit he's the best of all time.
Kwame has always had Braun in his crosshairs. And in 2021, President Donald Trump impeached by the U.S. House over the Jan 6 siege of the Capitol, becoming the only president to be twice impeached.
That was a good run he had.
Yeah, never heard from again.
Yeah. What could have been?
1P1 birthday today. Hey, brother, my nephew loves the hard line, listens all the time. My brother-in-law wanted to give a shout-out to his son. Mick Wilmot would like to say happy birthday to Warwick Wilmot. He is turning 21. He doesn't drink or smoke. He only plays baseball. Please have Bob call him a right wanker in Bob's best Liverpool accent. Thanks from Jeremy.
You got to do it, Bob.
No, I don't. I don't have.
Yeah,
I mean, it's his birthday.
He pays your bills.
He plays baseball.
Do it.
Do it for work.
I don't have a Liverpool accent.
You think he was named after Warwick Dunn?
Maybe.
Or Peter.
But happy birthday
All Florida
Maybe
State
he's
guys.
a full kit wanker.
from all of us here at the Ticket.
Straight edge kid.
We love you.
He's like C.J. Wilson.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
And Mormons.
Hold on. Let's see. He doesn't smoke, drink, or chew, or go with girls who do.
Yay.
What if you only dated girls who dipped?
They're out there.
I grew up in Lake Dallas, bro.
We're in the South.
Yeah.
Oof.
Snowball some
Yeah.
stuff at you.
Okay.
Well, whatever you could do to have fun.
Like chewing.
Just a pinch between your cheek and gum.
Were there girls
There's-
that chewed?
Yes.
And there were dudes that thought
Even
it was
I know
hot.
that.
That dipped too?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was like a big percentage,
There's
but
a
there
couple
was
out there.
there was a few.
Can I borrow
That
your
you went to
spit
school
cup?
with?
Yes.
He went to Mesquite.
Yeah.
I would.
There was
more
a
dip
rodeo
than
team.
dip.
Dude, I went to Lamar in Arlington. It's not like it was that far off. I didn't know anybody that dipped, though. Girls.
That's a private school.
No dippers in Interlaken.
Right. Lamar Prep.
Only being into baseball is kind of like being addicted to fentanyl.
That's because they didn't like to spit.
There it is.
There we go.
Birthdays today. Kevin Mitchell, 63.
One-handed catch.
On Schwib.
He was the Jim Abbott of outfielders? I'm thinking of the baseball
Greg Abbott
player.
of outfielders.
Stephen Hendry, 56. Brett Bielema, 55. Doug Martin, 36, the muscle hamster.
Brett Bielema's only 55?
Been gorgeous.
Brett Summermo.
He has looked 55 since like 1990.
Happy birthday, Brett.
You ain't wrong.
Morgan Burnett, 36, Bob.
No, that was Nick Collins. I'm trying to think of the Super Bowl pick six, but not Morgan Burnett.
Sean Hobie Milner, 34.
Okay. New piece to the bullpen.
Connor McDavid, 28.
Connor McDavid.
That's it.
Greatness.
Hendon Hooker, 27.
Wow. He's 1 year younger than Connor McDavid? That's wild.
That's what they said on draft day.
Part of his profile.
That's what they said on McDavid's draft day.
Only a year older than Hendon Hooker. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, 64.
Greatness.
And gorgeous.
Getting hotter.
And her house burned down.
I'll be here to
Got
come
to get the Gutenberg on
So
the
if
case.
she needs someplace to stay or something,
But are you sponge-worthy?
She can go to L4G Manor.
That's right.
Light up with her. Wayne Coyne, singer of the Flaming Lips, also 64.
That's the Hardline Zone.
Yes.
Trace Atkins, 63.
Country.
Bottom out
Gotta give the
specialist.
Flaming Lips, Sean Bass.
He loves the Flaming Lips.
Oh, I thought
It's
I
a
heard
song.
him.
Oh, yeah. Seemed like 4 times. They're awesome.
Patrick Dempsey, 59.
Is that McSteamy?
Hunky. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the guy with half a foot.
That's Tom.
Wait, you thought Tom Dempsey was McSteamy?
Yes.
That was his nickname.
No one even knows what Tom Dempsey looks like except for his foot.
Yeah, I just know what the half foot looks like. I have it up on my wall.
He looks like Super Toe.
I have a fat head of his half foot on my wall.
He's always dressed like Super Toe. A fat head of his half foot.
You got to hit him on the head.
Nicole Eggert, 53, from Baywatch.
In her day.
And
not anymore.
What about
Under
today?
Siege 2.
Good bit, though. What was that bit where she put the outfit back on and she's
Flaming Lips.
like 250 pounds now?
Yeah.
And the guy's drowning because he wanted a hot lifeguard to save him. I mean, this is on like, I think it's Funny or Die. And she runs in there and he's like, no,
Wait,
I'm good. I'll drown. It's okay.
Happy birthday, Nicole.
Yeah.
Michael Pena, 49, from The Martian and Chips. He's in a lot of
I like
movies.
that guy.
Orlando Bloom, 48.
Is that Katy Perry's?
Katy Perry's husband,
Legolas.
boyfriend, something.
He is Legolas. He's also in Pirates of the Caribbean. William Hung is 42.
Did we have him at Ticket Stock?
Man, I hope
Sounds
so.
like a guy we did.
He was
I think
part
that was
of
Chocolate Rain guy.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're thinking of the little Native American guys from Reservation.
Yeah. God, we've had so many cool bits.
He was part of the E-News Big Five at one point.
Yeah.
William Hung.
Liam Hemsworth, 35.
Hot.
They have 2 hots in that family.
It's unbelievable.
Not fair.
And a cot.
Me and my brother suck. Natalia Dyer, 30. She is from Stranger Things. She's not 11.
Is that the redhead?
No, that's the older sister.
The love
she like
interest
waffles?
of...
Oh, of the long kind of, yeah. Too skinny.
I agree.
Blue waffles.
Born on this day, now dead. Rip Taylor.
The $1.93 beauty contest or whatever, how much it was.
Also born on this day, now dead. Robert Stack.
That's a guy that...
Scary.
Was that the guy that you couldn't knock the battery off his shoulder?
No, that's Robert Conrad.
Oh, yeah.
Also born on this day, now dead. Christopher Boykin, a.k.a. Big Black. Were you a Robin Big fan?
Oh, yeah. They had their time.
Is that Trevon Boykin?
Oh, yeah.
Died in Plano.
I've seen that show.
He died?
Big Black?
Yeah, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Man.
He was the epitome of health. It
Man,
was
that
really out of
ruined my
nowhere.
day. I never would have guessed.
He was awesome. They put him on a skateboard and he fell.
Oh, I know this guy.
Down the stay still dead. Mel Stottlemyre. Baseball. I just thought this was funny. He didn't do anything notable, but France once had a king named Charles the Fat.
Why do they call him Charles the Fat?
When Jay and I looked him up, he weighed like 210. He was like when Jerry played guard at Arkansas.
Right.
He was just different.
164.
But it was like 800, so
yeah, it was 888. But
he had
still,
access to food.
888.
He wasn't a giant. Also, down the state still dead. Wyatt Earp,
greatness,
and down the state still dead. Teddy Pendergrass. That's why today doesn't suck.
Wyatt Earp, pretty good documentary on Netflix.
Yep.
Pretty good. Bye, Justin.
See ya, Justin.
Let's go.
Talk to me. Tell me your name. You blow me off like it's all the same.
That's the Chocolate Rain guy.
The Ticket.
Well, I can believe it. Because we're idiots. We completely screwed up Picks with Friends. Completely. We were on at 12:30 with The Invasion with Matt and Donovan and Travis. And we were going over the potential for a three-man tie. Because tonight's last NFL game, if the Rams win, then there will be a three-way tie for last place. Now, if the Vikings win, then there is a two-way tie for last place, right? It's a 1-point spread, so yeah. So Bob would be eliminated from last place, and that would leave Matt and George. And if that were the case, then the tiebreaker would make sense of what we proposed earlier today, and that is just pick whoever's closest to the total final score. But with a three-way playoff, which would occur if Minnesota wins, we basically said on the air we were trying to figure out who the winner was going to be, not the loser, and it's about the loser. And George, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, so you're getting this so far, right?
I'm listening. I'm listening. Go ahead.
All right. So what happens is, and Matt, if you're there too, I think you're on the phone.
Why don't you let the dog eat the napkin?
All right. So in a three-way tie, and we just thought that, okay, everybody just pick their score and whoever's closest to it wins. We weren't even talking about the loser. And then also, whoever's in the middle, so if there's someone at 44, then someone at 46, and someone at 52, whoever's in the middle, which was Bob, is instantly eliminated. Like, he wins, which we did not factor that in either.
So you say.
Well, Bob's trying to claim that he outsmarted everybody, but
I'm not trying to say it. I'm just saying I use common sense on how this would work, because I think everyone obviously knew one person had to lose.
Right, but we weren't talking about that on the air. We were talking about who's going to win.
I'm sure George and Matt and I were thinking about who was going to lose.
Yeah, well, whatever the case, it was not spelled out correctly at all. We did it wrong. And there is no way to do it. There's no way to do a three-man pick the over-under, because before the game is even played, someone is the winner. You don't even have to play the game. You see what I'm saying?
That's how blind draws work, but okay.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about that, and you didn't figure it out until afterwards.
Just stop. Just stop. For those who have a hard time processing, like me, let's say tonight's final score is Minnesota 30. Okay. Yep. The Rams 22.
Yes.
We got
so
head wound,
that's
George.
a point total of 52.
Yep.
So I hit it right on the head. Right. So I'm good.
Right.
Bob said 48, right?
45.
Okay, 45.
But Minnesota won, so I'm good.
Well, just eliminate that real quick. Just hold off on that. Go ahead, George.
Oh, okay. So I'll switch it. Say the Rams win 30-22.
Okay.
I hit it right on the head.
Right.
And then it's the person who is farthest away. Let's say it's Matt at 44.
Right.
He's the loser.
Yeah.
Correct.
But again, Bob, you understand, no matter what, whoever's in the middle can't lose.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
We realized once we got to the break, after we had the convening of the elders at 12:30, that even if the Rams win, which is the only path to losing for Bob in the current over-under, there's no way he can lose.
Right.
But again, if I may defend what happened, that's why you would do a blind text to Corby, nobody else can see, and then it is completely by chance.
Yeah, but we would have never had that bet. Never. We would have never done that.
Okay, do it a third time.
To completely eliminate someone. That's not the spirit of the game.
Okay, but the spirit of the game is also not to come up with 3 different ways to do the tiebreaker, but what is our newest way to do the tiebreaker?
Well, the problem is with any type of over-under or whatever, you can't do a 3-man tiebreaker. You just can't, a 3-man tiebreaker concerning that specific number, because one guy is instantly eliminated. And so we can either pick a receiver.
Well, how about you do this?
Okay.
How about whoever hits the number is eliminated, and now you do a final 2 tiebreaker for whoever's not. So then you don't completely render that last draw completely irrelevant. Now the last 2 have to have Cooper Kupp's yardage or something stupid.
Well, that's really nice for you.
I would be in it. What are you talking about?
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would. If George hits the number or Matt hits the number,
52,
then I am playing against
safe.
the other person.
Okay.
Even
So
though rightfully,
2
based
levels
on the
of
segment,
elimination,
I should be out of it. Yes.
In the event that the Rams win.
Yes. So that we do have a winner closest to the actual over-under, and then the final 2, they can pick, I would assume, either Justin Jefferson, or they can pick Puka Nacua or Cooper Kupp, or whoever.
Total turnovers.
Matt, are you on board with it? You understand what's going on here?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So
that's cool. But why don't, like, if it's going to be that way, why not have it? Because if Minnesota wins, then it's between me and George, and we don't need another tiebreaker.
Exactly. Now that's the rub: is if Minnesota wins, Bob instantly is out of it.
Now, is that okay still?
Yeah, you're okay.
Or do you want to change those rules?
Okay, to shut up.
Okay,
Just fine. Shut up,
Shut
Bob.
your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Yeah. The guy who knew what he was doing should be penalized.
He called me 15 minutes later.
Yeah,
goes,
and
I think we screwed up.
No, I think
I
think you screwed up.
Me?
Which you did. Yes, this
it wasn't
is on
my game.
The commissioner, the president doesn't say we all as Americans probably shouldn't have gotten into this war. You take some accountability as commissioner.
Math doesn't work.
I'm willing to go for the 3rd tiebreaker if you're willing to say I, as commissioner, screwed this up.
Well, first off, it wasn't my idea. We all agreed on the air that it was a good idea.
See what he's doing here?
Bob did have the Bob Barker idea.
He did, which again was fishy.
Why?
It just
That's
sounded
why we
weird.
talked him out of it.
Yeah,
Price is Right. Very fishy.
So let's do that. If Minnesota wins, then Bob is fine. Then it just goes down to 2-man, whoever, you guys between the over-under. If it's a 3-way tie, then whoever's closest to the over-under gets the win, and then the other 2 battle it out. But what is the tiebreaker? Do you guys want to pick a receiver and just say whoever has the most yards wins?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, why not?
We're all exhausted.
All right, I picked Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, how do we pick?
I just
What
picked.
draft order?
I think it's in the same order that you guys picked were announced your over-under. So Bob had the best week, then Jubb.
Then me.
And then Matt.
Just do Justin Jefferson yardage. There's only going to be 2 people in it. You're either on the number or you're off.
But it doesn't matter if you're over or whatever. It's just whoever's closest.
Okay, yeah.
Whoever's closest.
Let Justin. Since our good friend Matt said Justin Jefferson, then let him set the number, and you can say over or under. There you go.
All right. How about Justin Jefferson at 90 yards?
Okay, I'll take the over.
Yeah, I'll also go over. So then if it's me versus Matt, or I'm so confused.
It's not going to work. Now it's not going to work.
Well, then I need to take it the under?
I think you each need a different horse.
Yeah.
Like, if it's between Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Justin Jefferson, whoever has the most yards wins. Now, you can go first.
I can pick Justin Jefferson or Puka Nacua?
Yeah.
I would like Justin Jefferson then.
Okay.
Okay. I'll take Cooper Kupp.
Don't forget Jordan Addison in all this.
I know. You can take anyone you want. Okay. So, Matt, you want Puka?
You shut up.
Dude, it's
I'm gonna
Puka
go Jordan
Nacua.
Addison.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
So the tiebreaker is now what?
The tiebreaker now is whichever receiver has the most yardage or the least amount of yardage loses. That's it.
Only in the event of a three-way tie.
Only in the event of a three-way tie.
The first
Rams win.
The first person is eliminated. In the three-way tie, the first person is eliminated with the over/under.
Yes,
and then the remaining two.
Yes, that is
their wide receiver horses. That will be the final tiebreaker.
Who does George have? Cooper Kupp?
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp.
Okay, so Justin Jefferson is me, Cooper Kupp is George, and Matt is Jordan Addison.
Yes.
And the remaining two, whoever has the lowest yardage is our overall loser.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Everything's fine.
Done deal. Done deal. Sorry we confused everyone, but
Totally.
No, that's okay. It's understandable.
You confused
It
everyone.
needed to be fair. It needed to be fair.
We need accountability from the commissioner's office.
And that's what I have. That's what I now have.
Well, you can't keep saying we then.
Well, this is my last decision before I get
It's
out
his
of here.
last act.
We do everything as a league, Bob.
I cannot wait.
I regret.
I am so
totally
looking
messing
forward
this up.
to my January 6th moment because it's coming. All right. Love you guys.
That is calling your shot.
Love you. Bye, friends.
All right. We'll see you. There they go. There they go. Our football friends.
And here he is. It's Dave.
Dave.
Thank you. Well, as you just heard Lando say in the ticker, the last playoff game of the weekend, the Rams and Vikings, is going to be at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, neutral site. And the NFL has announced a few things programming-wise to acknowledge what's happening in L.A.
Okay.
With the wildfires. By the way, the wildfires, 24 deaths now. The Palisades fire, the largest fire, is only 14% contained.
Still.
It's still going crazy right now.
And the winds are supposed to be really bad in the next 48 hours. Again.
Yes. Well, before the game tonight, and I believe all of this will be telecast. All of this will be on ABC and ESPN. Andrew Whitworth will address the crowd with a special message to Los Angeles. Then Rachel Platten will perform Fight Song. You know that song? This is my fight song, my doing stuff song.
Yeah, we're gonna fight.
And while she sings, they will have a giant LA Together banner that will drop. And then she will stay on the field to sing the national anthem after the player introductions. And the Rams players, similar to the Chargers players, they're going to have the LAFD shirts and hats. And those are for sale as well, with proceeds going to the American Red Cross, as well as game-worn jerseys and footballs. They will be auctioned off on NFL auction with proceeds going to the American Red Cross. And I don't think this is related at all to any of that, but just for you to know, Exhibit will perform at halftime, and Warren G will have a special third quarter performance.
Oh.
I don't know if those will be carried.
Are they all some sort of benefit-y type thing, or was this planned?
I don't know. I don't know if Exhibit and Warren G were booked in advance.
Exhibit.
Or if that was a special nod as well to the wildfires. The Oscars have updated its timeline. The voting period was supposed to end tomorrow, and they have extended that now through Friday, the 17th. And then nominations for the 97th Oscars will be announced on the following Thursday, the 23rd, but it will be a virtual event without any in-person media coverage. The actual event, the Oscars, remains unmoved March 2nd. They also canceled the Oscar nominees luncheon and they donated $750,000 to the Motion Picture and Television Fund.
Who's the host this year? Because
who is the host? Oh, yeah.
It's Conan?
Conan.
Okay. Because it's really going to be difficult to be super funny man.
Yeah.
Up there when, you've got X number of people that don't have homes and all that. It's going to be weird.
It is going to be weird, and the Grammys are trying to get out ahead of it as well. The 67th Grammys will still take place February 2nd at Crypto.com Arena in downtown L.A., but they have released a statement saying, in response to this crisis, we've launched the Los Angeles Fire Relief Effort with an initial $1 million donation to support local music creatives and professionals. Thanks to additional contributions, we've already distributed over $2 million in emergency aid. And this year's show will carry a renewed sense of purpose, raising additional funds to support wildlife relief efforts. So they're going to, I guess, turn the Grammys into kind of a telethon.
Again, no idea is a bad idea at this point. It's such a freaking horrific event. Something we'll never see again, probably.
Well, a bad idea would be trying to drop a brand new show during all of this, which is why Meghan Markle has pushed back the launch of her Netflix show With Love, Meghan. It's going to be a cooking show where she cooks dinner for her rich and famous friends. It was supposed to debut on Wednesday. It's been pushed back to March 4th.
So now that they're out from underneath the crown, and we're to assume that they took away all monies that came with that.
That's why she's working at Starbucks.
Does he have like a sweet trust fund?
Yes, Corby.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to say yes.
Well, I don't know.
No, I'm not
he
saying
leaves
you're
the
wrong.
family, and suddenly when you leave the family, I don't know. I mean, I watch Succession. We see the Jones family. You want to have a piece of it at all times.
I mean, but they signed their Netflix deal. They signed like a podcast deal. They got a bunch of
Rogan money
upfront signing bonus money.
Netflix gave them $100 million.
Oh,
yeah.
So they're okay.
They're
fine.
poor.
Yeah. And by the way, on Friday, Meghan and Harry visited the Pasadena Convention Center with Gavin Newsom's wife to meet with those affected by the fires, and they are being railed for that because they say they look like disaster tourists.
What does that mean?
Just means that, they don't really care. They're just there for the photo op.
Yeah.
One of those definitely affected by the wildfires, Heidi Montag. We talked about this last week. You were like, who is that?
Yeah, I remember her from those early 2000s
So
reality
Spencer
shows.
Pratt and Heidi Montag, they were on what was it? The
Hills.
Valley, the Hills. Yeah.
I just remember hearing stories about Heidi Montag, and it was always about botched plastic surgery.
Yeah,
right?
she does have giant fakers, and she's had a lot of work done.
Like knees and hips and lips. And
Yeah,
butt.
and so her
Had a lot
husband,
of work done.
her husband
Floppers.
Spencer Pratt, went and pled with their social following to stream her music because she also tried to be a pop star at one time. Please stream her music to generate income after their house burned down. And so here is the song that has been streamed over the past weekend. It's called Superficial from 2010. This is the hook. We got to the hook here. So, yeah.
Thank you.
So
Sorry about your house.
Yeah, all of her jewelry and handbags and all of her superficial things went up in flames. Well, it worked because it went to number 1 on iTunes over the weekend. Spencer Pratt says, "Thank you, everyone. Who needs a house? Who needs clothes? Who needs anything but this level of clout? Our sons are going to be like, my mom was number 1 on iTunes in America. Thanks to everyone who made this happen. Now, He says, we need radio play, I guess, not just iTunes, to get to number 1 on the Billboard charts, which is the ultimate goal, because then that's like a wrap. Heidi's the biggest superstar in the world.
Okay. Heidi Montag botched surgery. Let's look at the work she had done.
You know who else is hopping mad over the wildfires?
Oh, the first article is Heidi Montag recalls getting part of her chin sawed off.
Wow. That's not a quote I was anticipating.
During her infamous plastic surgeries in 2009. So she's had so much done. All right, go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry.
Tyler Perry is very upset as he has become aware of all of the home insurers that did not, over the last few years, did not renew thousands of insurance policies of people in the Pacific Palisades and Altadena neighborhoods. They either canceled their policies outright or raised their premiums like quadruple the premium to where people just couldn't afford to pay it.
Right.
And so now all these people have no coverage on their homes that have burned down. And so Tyler Perry says people who have paid premiums all their lives are left with nothing because of pure greed. I'm in the process of trying to figure out what steps I can take to do all I can to help as many as I can. So he's a powerful dude. Maybe he can come up with a way to help people.
It is incredibly tragic. And a lot of people, whether you're on whatever coast, whether it's hurricane insurance or whether it's this, you're just like rolling the dice. Like, I'm not doing it. And you hope that the dirt is worth enough to get you out of whatever. Which, again, I don't know what this is going to do to like California home prices.
No, who can say? But it is so weird. What appears to be a conflicting idea of should you have sympathy for rich people, which is just such a weird discussion for people to have. And I know,
but there's a lot of people that lost their homes that aren't rich.
100%.
There's a lot of people that have owned those homes for 40, 50 years that they bought for nothing.
Yes. Now, I guess what I'm trying to establish here is the basic lack of empathy for your fellow human, because in some weird way, because of where they're living, you think they might have it coming? Like, that's just weird to me.
I think they have it coming when they record a song called Superficial.
Granted,
it doesn't
certain things go against, but just I think it's okay to have empathy for your fellow human.
You can feel bad.
Yes, you're allowed to. No one's going. Well, maybe somebody will, but I just think if you're going to err on the side of empathy. That's okay.
It's almost like, though, California gets its own. People look at it so differently than like Florida with the hurricanes. Look, those are expensive homes too that are getting demolished on the coast.
Libs.
But people don't really say anything about that. It's like, oh my God, the horrific.
It's a sign the politics of our lifetime have poisoned the water where you can't even feel a certain way about a fellow American because you feel like they see the world differently than you.
A fellow human. Human.
I know, but
I know.
American is usually something where that tie goes to the runner. Oh, they're an American. Okay, I'm pulling for you. And it's like even that has disappeared, and that is beyond sad.
But I think also, just perception-wise, there's no denying that a hurricane is an act of God. But I think people look at wildfires through a different lens. Should have watered the grass more.
Yeah.
You know what, though?
Should have raked the leaves so it didn't light on fire.
I saw some posts over the weekend from people because it rained a ton there last year. And when it does rain there, things start to grow, just like anywhere else. You get water, things grow. And then you look at it like, God, everything is so green and lush and awesome, and this is what California is supposed to look like. Well, most people were like, this is horrible.
Yeah, all this stuff is going to die and become kindling.
Yes. We are getting ready to have the worst fires ever because things are so overgrown now, and the city is constantly making you clean up, right? But then they don't pick up the trash, is what I've read, or they don't pick up the brush or whatever. It's a vicious cycle.
All right, quickly, Patrick Mahomes and Brittany Mahomes yesterday welcomed their third baby, daughter Golden Ray Mahomes.
For the bye week.
They crank them out, right?
Yeah.
Like they've got like three now.
This is their third, yeah.
Under like 5.
Sterling Sky and Patrick Bronze Lavon.
Huh.
And now Golden Ray. And way to go, Corby. Aubrey Plaza has deactivated her Instagram.
One little DM.
You and about 1 million other horn dogs.
Hey, babe. A, I'm sorry. B, you're really funny.
My condolences. Chicken?
All right.
Oh, here's Dave.
Well, if you are wondering how you can help with the California wildfires, here's an idea. As the Humane Society of North Texas has partnered with Wings of Rescue and Best Friends Animal Society to fly adoptable dogs and cats from California shelters to North Texas.
Really?
Yes. So these adoptable pets are expected to arrive at Meacham Airport in Fort Worth in the next day or two.
Just like President Kennedy.
Indeed. So the statement says these aren't owned pets. These are adoptable dogs and cats from California shelters transported to free up critical space for families desperately searching for their beloved pets displaced by the wildfires. So all of the shelters in California are overflowing because of all of the animals that have fled from the wildfires. So they get collected and they get brought to shelters, but they already have full shelters because there are already animals there. So the animals that were already there are being shipped to other shelters out of state.
I have a question concerning the animals that... Dogs and cats, right?
Mhm.
That's what we're talking about here, not horses.
Or donkeys. Did you see the donkeys
I did.
in the middle of the neighborhood just hanging out?
Just a couple of burros having a grand old time. But are we to assume that these people, like the fires got so out of control when they weren't home, that they couldn't go back to their house to retrieve their pets? Or do you just, we got to go. There's my computer, my passport, and that's all I need. Like you don't get your dog or your cat?
Or maybe you can't find them and they're hiding and you have to just split?
It is kind of weird, though.
It is
like
weird.
Think about that. You're not leaving your house without those animals. You're just not.
Yeah, I might leave one of the dogs.
You need to leave that dog alone. Poor thing.
If you want to volunteer to foster any of these pets, you can email foster@hsnt.org.
DJ, would your girlfriend leave you behind first?
100%.
Yes.
She would throw herself onto the flames before she left the dog.
Right.
Me
too. Same thing. I would be the we lost Corby. She handcuffed me to the toilet or something like that and trying to get the dogs out of there. It was terrible what happened to him, but we saved the dogs.
Everything worked out for the best.
Right, in the end.
So last month, President Joe Biden directed flags to be displayed at half staff for 30 days at the White House and all public buildings and grounds to honor former President Jimmy Carter, who died at the age of 100 on December 29th. So 30 days. So I guess that goes through January 29th, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Your math is correct.
That does check out.
Well, the problem with that is, as we've discussed, Inauguration Day is January 20th. And Trump is upset. Like, he has all the respect for President Jimmy Carter, but he's like, why can't we just raise him up for my inauguration, then raise him back down? Well, that is what's happening in Texas, as Governor Greg Abbott has ordered flags to be raised to full staff next Monday at the Texas Capitol and all state government office buildings to honor Trump's inauguration. Abbott's statement said, President Carter's steadfast leadership left a lasting legacy that will be felt for generations to come, which together as a nation we honor by displaying flags at half staff for 30 days while we honor the service of a former president, we must also celebrate the service of an incoming president and the bright future ahead for the United States of America. So once again,
I got no problem with this.
I know.
30 days is too long.
It makes total sense.
Yeah.
It makes total sense.
Bring him up, and then if you got to bring him down, then bring him down.
I know, but it's just funny because it's just any opportunity that Abbott has to ingratiate.
Sure.
And to insert his name into the news cycle.
Yeah.
Question. Would the inauguration change decidedly either direction if an elementary school's flag in Central Texas is not changed at all?
Well, the problem is now is if there are some of them schools or businesses or whatever that don't do it, they will be now
arrested.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Like they'll be
and I'm not saying they should
and,
not follow orders. I'm wondering about the orders of the positioning of flags in certain municipalities or whatever, or let's say all of them. Let's say every elementary school in the United States. Does that change the inauguration and the celebration or whatever?
Do elementary school kids even notice where the flag is flying?
Well, yeah, I guess to put it a different way, does the height of the flag in the end truly matter one way or the other in this particular case? That we have to have a governor weigh in on this
until it was brought up. Now it will matter.
Yeah. Now
you see that car dealership? They didn't lower their flag, or they didn't raise their flags back up.
Now it's political.
Yes. It is officially politicized because someone is demanding it.
Because we have to culture war at all times.
No one would blink if on Inauguration Day they saw a flag lowered.
Yeah, well, I mean, you might have to explain to them, no, actually a president died, and this has been a tradition for some time. I guess I don't know how long, right? How long is this?
No idea.
This? I feel like though our forefathers might have put it in place at some point,
well,
right?
I don't understand
Once
why
presidents started dying, maybe?
Probably so, but I don't get why Jimmy Carter didn't just live through the inauguration and just end all this mess.
Right?
That's what I would have done.
That was pretty uncool of him.
Yeah.
Well, he just take a header off the Capitol steps on Inauguration Day.
Yeah.
Would have really made a statement.
A Texas man, not DJ, has been arrested for stalking Caitlin Clark. Officials say he contacted the WNBA superstar with threats and sexually explicit messages in her DMs. And then he drove to Indianapolis. He is a 55-year-old man from Denton, Michael Lewis. And he was taken into custody.
Not Moneyball.
Oh.
He was taken into custody in Indianapolis on Sunday after Indianapolis police traced his activity to a Indianapolis hotel. They used his IP address to find out that he was, in fact, in town. So he had first made contact with officers last week, and he downplayed the messages, saying they're more fantasy than reality. And he said that he was only in Indianapolis on vacation. And so they told him to stop, but he kept on messaging her and stayed in Indianapolis. And
did you read some of those?
I haven't read all of them. There's a couple in here. So Caitlin, she said that she has been fearing for her safety and has adjusted her public appearance schedule. One of the messages, he said, been driving around your house 3 times a day, but don't call the law just yet. The public is allowed to drive by Gainbridge, a.k.a. Caitlin's field house. And then he also said, I'm getting tickets. I'm sitting behind the bench. I'm going to F them up. Watch me.
And those are the ones that were printed. The other ones were incredibly sexual in nature.
Do you have those?
I do not. They didn't release them. I don't think that that's part of the deal.
I would like to say we should say no to stalking across the board.
Right, he did admit to officers.
Slow down there. Hold on.
He did admit to
Would you like to make the
officers
case?
that this was an imaginary relationship.
No way. So DJ showed us the picture of this guy. Let's just say if there were 10 other people that he showed us photos of, I would have known that this was the stalker.
If you did a photo array of potential stalkers and this guy was in it, you would identify him?
I believe so.
And if he looked like Chris Evans, maybe he's not a stalker.
Yeah, maybe he's just
a date.
Yeah, he's just sliding into her DMs and then a
He's a
relationship
snack.
begins.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy, Not so much.
I mean, like if Chris Hemsworth was saying, driving around your house right now, going to the game, I got tickets right behind the she'd be going, oh my God, it's Chris Hemsworth!
I would love Caitlin Clark to end up with
Thor.
Chris Hemsworth.
I mean, honestly, that is
but only
how
dressed as Thor.
That is how so many athletes and celebrities meet their significant others now, is like in Instagram DMs.
Yeah, I think...
but not stalking, to be fair.
Horny on Twitter.
Yeah, Deddy's met several wives, I think, that way.
Yeah, you just, before you hit send on the DM, you just have to look at your own profile picture and say to yourself, am I hot?
Mm-hmm.
And if the answer is no, don't send it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point.
So you're saying...
Check your hotness.
So you're saying in general, there's a different strike zone with regards to stalking rules if you're super hot.
If you're hot, then things that would be considered creepy or icky by a not hot person are perfectly acceptable.
Like, what if Dak was in Caitlin's DMs and said, I'm driving up for the game, and I'm driving around your house right now, and I got tickets to the game, and I see you're at Arby's right now, I can see you. Would she be like, oh my God, it's Dak? Or is she freaking out and calling the cops?
Aren't you about to have Irish twins?
Well, I'm just using him as an example, not so much that he would do that.
And last thing before we go, big news.
Anyway, DJ, we want you to fight this man.
I think I can take this guy.
For Caitlin's honor, you need to fight him.
Okay.
Maybe Lando will.
We need to congratulate our nemesis at Dude Perfect as they have unveiled their new headquarters in Frisco.
You mean Friends?
What happened to their theme park and all that?
They're still trying to get some suckers to invest
steal
in
money.
it. But they released the video. It's entitled "We Built the World's Greatest Office." Highlights: they have the Dude Perfect putting course, where in the video Bryson DeChambeau hits a chip shot. Then they also had CD Lamb, who was helping them show off their 45-yard indoor football field with regulation NFL field goal posts. There was also an appearance by Tom Brady in the video doing a trick shot. They also have Corby pickleball courts, a golf simulator, a gym, production areas, office space, and they have a secret candy room.
What does that mean?
Well, because
to lure kids?
No, it's just that when you're doing trick shots all day, you need a box of nerds,
some candy,
and they also bought the warehouse next door. Corey Cotton says that
turned into a brothel.
It's an empty space right now, but they'll build a store where you can go buy all your Dude Perfect merchandise.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Well, shout out to DP.
What was the beginning of that video that we said, like, they're like, okay, guys, let's go. And they're like, woohoo! And it's so like a bit that we would do on them. Why are they always so happy and excited?
Because when they
live in the dream.
Happy and excited, then everybody watching the video will be happy and excited.
Yeah. Except you guys who are just going to mercilessly hate.
No, I love them. I think they're hilarious.
See?
They are a comedy group.
They are. Find me another group of 5 guys that can throw a wiffle ball through a trash can from 10 feet away.
You can't.
No. There's no way. Like, on camera.
Maybe Dude Perfect should be the next head coach of the Cowboys.
All of them?
Oh, my gosh. That's the whole staff.
They know Dak.
Yeah.
Dak loves him.
Yeah, the main guy. Who's the main guy?
Beardo.
Tyler.
Yeah, he's the head coach, clearly. And the rest of them are OC and DC.
Yeah, the twins are OC and DC.
Yes, and then like the guy with the fake hair.
You can't tell who's who.
The tall guy, he can be special teams coach.
That's
but
Cody.
Special teams of fun.
Yeah.
Right. Where every punt.
Every punt's a reverse.
It's a trick play every punt.
With a backflip.
Oh, no. Here we go. Oh, my God.
Get the Steak Podcast daily at patreon.com/sportsgreek.